So this is CeBIT 2014, and this is the Future Talk Forum in Hall 9. This hall is for research and innovation, and today we have a special conference for the FI-PPP, and this is the Future Internet Public-Private Partnership. We are celebrating today the 25th anniversary of the World Wide Web, which was actually invented in 1989, and the first paper was submitted by Tim Berners-Lee on March 12, 1989. And today, we are not looking in the past. Of course, we're celebrating the web every day. This is that's for sure. We're not looking in the past. We're drinking tea, we're having water, and we are speculating, and we are looking at the building blocks that are there to build the future internet. And when we talk about building blocks, there are two building blocks that are interesting, and that these building blocks are called FIWARE and FI-content. And so the content thing is what we see. The FIWARE stuff is that it's really running. So probably we could start with FIWARE, and that Juanjo, for the people that didn't been with us all day, can you give us an update on what is FIWARE and why it is an interesting initiative of the European Union?
Thank you. It's
very good.
It's working. Okay. Well, the fact that you talk about the advent of the web with Tim Berners-Lee, I think it's something I can use as a good analogy, because I think that most of us would agree that the internet would not be like it is now if some alternatives such as the Linux, Apache, MySQL, or even the browser technologies and so on hadn't been there as open options. The internet had been completely different. So we are now building a new internet, and there are incumbent players with proprietary solutions. So we believe it's going to be rather important that there are open options, open APIs, open technologies for creating the foundation of the future internet. So we have an open cloud technology, open big data platform technologies, open technologies for creating real-time large-scale processing of data, for developing 3D HTML5-based user interfaces and all that stuff. And that is what FIWARE is all about, creating an open alternative based on leveraging on open source reference implementations that can be there as an alternative to what incumbent players like the Amazons and the Googles are bringing in the place. And this is rather important because that would mean that the platform provider, there might be several, and me as an application developer, I'm going to be able to choose among application platform providers and select that one which is where my application is going to be running, and very importantly, where my data is going to be also hosted. So that is all what FIWARE is about, creating these free options, the free choices for creating the future internet.
All right, so, but to me it seems, and that's a good plan, very nice idea. But to me it seems that we have a sort of open and free platform as a basis, and those open source people, and they do a very nice job. And in the end, this is the key factor of the success of the web. It's true. The openness was the key success factor of the web. But the closed shop people earn the money. I mean, isn't it sort of stretching that we had the W3C guys with us yesterday. It's not Tim Berners-Lee that became a billionaire. It's the others. So what do you say? I mean, to motivate everybody to join the open forces.
Yeah, and I mean, the platform providers could be many. It doesn't need to be even the ones that have developed the technology, as with the example you made. because actually the business is going to be on providing the good operation of those technologies, providing the right support and all the stuff. And also many different business models will be feasible, and it's going to be a matter of who is going to bring the better ideas, the more innovative ideas, and going to provide the best environment for innovators, for startups to create innovation. And those are the ones that are going to make the money.
Yeah, but to me still, it's the one that the open source guys, they get the smile and the others get the money. That it's not fair. Not everything is fair. Even innovation isn't fair. That shouldn't be a point not to work in this open source environment. Pieter.
Yeah, I wanted to do some comment on that, because the fact is that in my view, there is in these areas, Hanover and around, called Europe, there's a lack of big successes in the internet area, and so we are still in the meaning. If we don't build, I think what this program is about, it is trying to set up the industrial infrastructure in order to allow for those smiling people, those billionaires, to emerge. I mean, if you don't have the infrastructure to do so, then we are sure they will not be there. So the question we are working on now is, once we have the infrastructure, will those smiling people come up? And that's really what I think is the challenge we are working on, is to make the conditions for the European startups, for the European SMEs, for the European developers, for the European guys who are still at school and we might become rich later, to get that technology, to get that infrastructure, what will allow to easily develop their ideas. And that includes not only technology, it includes also money, and it includes advice. And I think that's what we are about.
Okay, Philipp, you wanted to add to that? No, okay.
Fully agree.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
I think also it's important that already open source companies are earning money. And they might not make the big money, but it's enough to have a good running company, because they offer their software for free, but then they give counseling, consultations, they give enterprise versions, they offer cloud hosting. There are many, many companies already out there really making good living of offering first open source and then starting to run it and to basically give the service. So I think for small companies in Europe, it's important to see these examples, not only the big Google and Facebook out there, but to see these small, innovative companies growing and growing. And therefore, I think in phase 3, which I announced before, where we give out 100 million to small entrepreneurs.
We will come to that.
Yeah, soon. But the point is, there is already good examples out there. So, and this is what I think. There should be more people being entrepreneurs and making a living with it. It's possible.
So now we have FIWARE and FI-content, and Philipp talked about 3D, the 3D stuff, and in the browser, having 3D in the browser. Can you give us just a brief update what is going on there and what we can expect?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So the whole idea of what is called Work Package 13 in FIWARE is this idea of developing advanced web-based user interfaces. Kind of everything's moving towards the web now, and we have HTML. It's an excellent multimedia. It's actually the best multimedia framework around. Right? You have text, you have images, advanced formatting for text, and all the different pieces. There's a huge developer base for people that know how to build web applications. There's entire operating systems, right? I mean, Firefox OS or Chrome OS there is no native application. There is only the web for running the applications. And so we build on top of that, and we're saying, right beside text, images, and video, there is some other stuff. There is 3D graphics. It's actually taking most of the die area in all of the processors that you can buy today. Most of the transistors are for the 3D graphics side, for the high-performance computing in there. And so if we do not integrate that part into our application framework, we're missing out on big time. And so this is why we've started with XML3D, which is an extension to HTML5 to describe 3D scenes, describe geometry processing, image processing, the ability to do augmented reality, also on mobile devices. And then use that, and that was a FIWARE pitch. And then in FI content, we're using that technology to bring gaming into the real world, get the kids out of the basement, have them play with their mobile devices with each other in the street of the city, instead of sitting alone with Coke and pizza in the basement. So I think there is, it's really the technology that we're building across the FI-PPP, across the different projects, that makes things possible. That's the very exciting thing here. We enable completely new things in the browser that can take advantage of all the services that FIWARE is developing and so on. It's really a very powerful toolbox for people to build a company on, build completely new ways of offering services, and get rich that way. I mean, we don't want only to foster open source companies. The infrastructure we're building is to a largest degree open source, because that enables others to easily build on top of that. But whoever builds on top of that doesn't have to make his own stuff open source. We would be happy if they do, but I mean, most people will probably not make it open source and try to earn a lot of money like Google does.
Okay, people will like the get rich part. So the question here, our panel discussion, is how can you benefit from the EU Future Internet Program? And we will come to that. But first, if anybody wants to join in and has some comments and has some questions, just give me a signal, and we'll be happy to, maybe we can provide answers, or at least we can work on answers. Now, it was, so it's the Future Internet Public-Private Partnership, and then there is FIWARE. And so, Pieter, when we look at FI content, can you give us a short introduction? What's the vision and the mission of FI content? Okay, so let me just get back on. We are here for this FI-PPP Day, 12th of March, and we are 25 years after the, let's say, the invention of the World Wide Web. I just wanted to make a very quick comment on that, is that the user sitting here, meaning I'm also a user of internet, started to be excited really about the World Wide Web the day that I saw Mosaic. Yes. So I believe that Mosaic has had a very important role in the development of the World Wide Web. Yes. The reason I'm coming back on that is that that's the way I see our role in the FI-PPP thing. Meaning we are the use case. We are building on top of the FI-PPP technologies, and we are building the tools and to actually address the end users with services in the areas of media and content. As George Wright did explain somewhat earlier, is why do I go to the TV? Why do I go to internet? I go to internet because there's content on the internet, meaning more than 50% of the internet traffic is in relation to content.
and to video content only, and then you have to add to that photos, and you have to add to that, text and so forth and so forth, and voice. So, so content is a very important thing to get connected and to do things on the internet. There's a lot of other important things also, what we don't address. We address media and content, and that's why we are there, and we are there to try to introduce those technologies, to introduce the FI-PPP concept into these new areas, addressing those users who are the users of content on the internet.
All right, now we have here we have 7 demo stations. So 7. So we have 3 demo stations for FIWARE, and we have 3 demo stations for FI content, so that everybody that is joining here at CeBIT 2014 had the chance to see what you really what the output is of these programs, or they see examples of the output of these programs. And then I guess we could look at this question of how everybody can benefit. But maybe if you say 1989, and when did you meet Mosaic? I mean, when was it, Mosaic?
92.
No. 93.
93, sorry.
93, Mosaic. So the first public version was 1st April 1993. So therefore, last year, we were celebrating 20 years of graphic browsing at CeBIT 2013. Now, I guess every year we will have some birthday and some core technology of the World Wide Web. But that was 1993, and then Mosaic came. It was nice because it was all graphics, and it was. I mean, it was not FTP. I mean, FTP was really very boring before. And then suddenly this, all the pictures came in, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
So hopefully FI content gives us a lot of beautiful content, and FIWARE gives us a lot of elegant interaction and platforms that we really love to use. And here comes everybody. And because, do you remember the Olympics 2012 when Tim Berners-Lee was in the center of this of the opening? And this is for everyone. Now, this is for everyone is sort of the topic of this that we can address now. How can you benefit from the EU Future Internet Program, and how can everybody participate? And now, who wants to give the answer? So we have 4 people that can give the answer. Now, probably it's you, Carmen.
Yeah, we both.
Okay. So you start.
I start?
Yes.
Yeah, I start. Okay. Ladies first. Thank you. Yes, as I announced earlier, and it's now that we are opening up to the public. We are sitting here at the CeBIT, but we are also opening up in this FI-PPP program by announcing a new phase that there will be seed money for entrepreneurs, 100 million euros for up to 1,000 entrepreneurs. This is the dream of the European Commission, maybe our common dream, that a lot of developers and startups get this seed money, and that they can build on all these wonderful enablers and on these wonderful platforms and bring in their ideas, their own ideas, and the IPR will rest with the entrepreneur, means like they can commercialize their own idea. The only condition to enter is basically a good idea and using the technology of FI-PPP. Here we are not only addressing, and I think this is a future internet, and that's for me the big thing. We are not anymore only addressing typical technical developers or ICT companies. We're also addressing artists, creative people. I myself have an artistic background. We are allowing for the first time, because with our tools, I think it's easy to enter. You can, if you're a designer or if you are just have a very, very good creative idea, maybe you team up with a more technical guy, you can start. And I was asked before by several people, there is no condition. You can be just an entrepreneur. It means like a single person with a wonderful idea. You can be a student, you can be a retired person, you can be any person. You can be anybody. But the point is, there is, for the first time, no real condition, but a great idea. And of course, we will check if you are able to fulfill this idea, to bring it to life. We will support you. We will give you business service, technical support, everything what an entrepreneur needs. But it's a great chance. I think I never heard of this anywhere. 100 million seed money going out from the fall 2014 in several open calls. So there will be many, many, many possibilities to join. And we're really hoping for many, many, many people, so it means spread the word. Now you.
Yeah, I want to add that it's not going to be just this money, which is going to be very important as funding for the entrepreneurs. That is not the only advantage, I think, that will come with this new phase of the program. It's also about creating the ecosystem, rolling out the ecosystem. An ecosystem that we are building around FILab, where generic enablers will be available, but also specific enablers like the ones being developed in FI content. And what we are looking for is that ecosystem will be fit with the ideas from these entrepreneurs, but also with the contribution from potential users, potential customers, potential investors, who, because what we are trying to build there is a meeting point that will allow to get the offering connected to the demand, okay? The demand and offering of innovation. And this is a thing that has genuine, nothing as like this has been created before in the ICT sector in Europe. I would even say worldwide. So that is a great opportunity for entrepreneurs to not just get funding, but also visibility, connection, paths to commercialization of their ideas, connection to potential customers, investors. And this is going to be a really great opportunity for all.
All right, so it's 100 million euros. That's a lot of money. And I learned during the sessions that it is limited to 150,000 euro. That's the max per project. Yeah, per project. So that's max per entrepreneur. So that's the max amount that you can get, or the max amount of seed money that you can get. And it's open for all ideas. And I love if things are open for all ideas, but I even love more when the people come and give a little basis for the vision, for the dream. And so therefore, the question would be, what would you really love to see as an idea? I mean, as a solution. So what is it that you think is missing in your personal life? If you say everything is there, I mean, that is then we don't need more ideas. All right, so all right, sir, I'm coming to you.
I can mention some positive things, but let I mention one negative thing. I want to see a world without investors. We do not need investors. We have ideas enough and we have money enough, so we can create the new world of the Internet of Things and beyond without investors. They are spoiling what we are doing. 100 million euros is enough to create the new world.
All right, but that is, okay, I understand, but that is, all right, but that is not a technological innovation. It's a sociological and cultural innovation, and that is okay, and we have to work on that, but while we're working on that innovation too, we should keep in mind that people with ideas right now have to pay for their bread, and so if we can give them seed money so they can realize their project, so that is then that's good. But I understand your dream. The dream is oh, you want to add something?
Oh yes, this was the negative one. I want to have this. I'm a little bit older than the general public here, so I want to have a world where I can go around and where I can easily find things that I can find today, but also when I am in Hanover. I come from Reewijk. You probably do not know where it is. It's a small town in the Netherlands, but also if I go to New York or whatever city, I should be able to find my way in one generic, user interface rather than in all different interfaces, because Hanover wants to have another interface than Berlin and Hamburg, etc. So what really is needed is an architectural thinking that if you know your way in your own town, you also know it in any town that will work together with the new world.
All right, so that is a good idea, but don't go into the details because you have to apply for it in the contest. No, but I understand. So, do you got the idea? So it's a uniform geospatial information system that is sort of open, and I design it once, so with my preferences, and then I go in any town. And it gives me the information that I really like or that I want in the way that I want it. Yes. So is that would a vision like that would fit into the program?
Absolutely. I mean, we have quite a number of enablers that go exactly in that direction. So there's a GIS enabler that provides data about the landscape. Where are streets and stuff like that. There's point of interest enabler that provides information about where are shops, where are, traffic signs even, right? I mean, that might, or other, like for a disabled person, you want to know about things. There is the 3D graphics, the interaction component for that. There is the big data processing from FIWARE, because that will, for the entire world, there will be a lot of data. You have to search across the data and so on. So I think there's a lot of building blocks that make that happen. And I think it's also this idea of this open internet where people make data available and then other people can build applications on top of that. I mean, this is where a lot of things happen. And currently there's still too much closeness in terms of the data, right? If the cities don't make their traffic information openly available, but only in their closed applications, your vision will not be able, because the entrepreneur has that great idea of how to present the traffic or the travel information to you might not actually be able to get at the data. So I think there is a technological part to that, but there's also the open data part to this that we have to work on, and that's probably even the more difficult part of this.
Yeah, I would say that this is one of the reasons why this concept of creating the ecosystem is so relevant in this program, and it's not just about technology. And we need, for instance, that, and we are unfortunately making progress in that respect, we need the cities, to give an example, connected to this ecosystem and willing to share their data and somehow start to create a standard around which solutions for the cities can be built, because what it will work for a given city will certainly be useful for another city. And but we have to create that momentum, and I think we have all the ingredients to really make this rollout and emerge and really happen and make your dream a reality.
Also, because I'm the experimentation coordinator, means like in FI content we have already 6 sites, and we are trying, for example, to test smart city services in different cities. So we have a dream to make it around cultural event or sport event, to make like a toolkit for smart city guides, which any city can use. Like we are dreaming for, like, I'm going next days to Barcelona. There we dream to make one for Barcelona, but which we can also use in any other city in Europe. And ideally, we can use it in South America, we can use it anywhere. But it needs to be open. And And it needs also to, we have to basically involve the local communities as well. We cannot just come there and with our super technology and say, hey, now use it. It's basically, we need the ideas also from the communities, from the cities, from the public organizations. And that's what we're trying in FI content in the large scale experimentation, which is now coming up. We're trying to get the best brains together and to make this kind of toolkit. What could be the best way to really travel in a city, to find the events you are wishing, whatever is interested to you, what could it be? And it's really our brainstorm right now, and it fits right in your idea, because that's also my dream, that I can discover my personal interests in any city I go, not only in Cologne, where I'm coming from.
All right, so that is sort of the uniform personalized geospatial information system that I can carry with me, and I get the hotspot, and I get this traveling assistance. So more ideas. More ideas. Now here, this is about space and location. And do we have more? Do we have more ideas or more dreams? So what is missing in your everyday life? What you really want?
Yeah, okay, I can give some ideas. I want to do what I mean button on my phone. So do what I mean button on the phone is some button what I can push, and then the phone answers me what I'm thinking. So that's the first thing, and it's not that hard to do. I think the technology to do that thing is there. I can elaborate on use cases. What is okay? That's one thing. What I also want is I want a wake up thing. How do you call that? Something with an alarm clock. What is capable to know at what time I must be waking up based on what's the traffic, what's the thing I have to do, based on how important it is, and so forth. So it's close to the do what I mean button, but it's somewhat more specialized.
So that's the situation and context-aware alarm clock, for example. I mean,
context-aware alarm.
It has to be context-aware, so it reads the news, for example. It knows the traffic, it knows the weather, it knows how you like to to go to some place. It has to. It needs access to your calendar and so on. All right, so. We had what about socially connected TV? I mean, okay. You have a not TV, right? So what kind of ideas are you looking for?
Well, I mean, there's lots of ideas I have, but actually, I want to kind of go a little bit beyond that. I mean, because we're only a very few people here, so I think the program, this 100 million, there will be lots of people who have their own ideas of what they want to do. And I think that's really important, that the people who have the ideas get the chance to run with their ideas. But I want to point out what Juanjo said before, this ecosystem. And I think a critical part of that ecosystem is also the people who are not actually getting the money, but who want certain solutions. I mean, I talk to big companies, I talk to a lot of people who have demands. Right? And it's important from my point of view to get them into this program as well, because that is how you create demand for the solution. Because the 100 million sounds like a lot of money, but at the end, if you look at the scale of Europe, it's not actually that much. So if we, in particular, it runs out after a rather short amount of time. So it can only be the kickoff event. And we need to use that money wisely to actually create the demand that keeps the whole ecosystem running. And that actually involves also the large companies. It actually probably also involves investors, possibly at least, because, I mean, there is a lot of money that is actually looking for good ideas, and if you want to scale up good ideas to a larger endeavor, you need funding for that. Otherwise, growth will be very limited. So I think it's very important not to just look at this program from the people that will get funding, but extend beyond that by the people who will maybe use to put more money into that for what they're interested. get the stakeholders, get the cities, get the creative community involved, and just make that a Kickstarter, not limit it to the people that we will be able to fund. This will be a lot, but not enough.
Okay. So you want to add anything? So I look...
Yeah, well, just very briefly to explain that I think we have to be ready to get surprised. I mean, none of us can anticipate what are going to be the more brilliant ideas that are out there waiting for us to be discovered. I mean, the experience we got, for instance, with the first FIWARE challenges that we ran last October and when we ran the finals in end of January. I mean, suddenly a number of startups really surprised us with brilliant ideas that we could never imagine that were there. And this is what we are trying to explain, for instance, also to the cities. There is no city that has in mind what are going to be the whole set of innovative services that can be brought to the citizens. They have to put their data, and for sure there will be brilliant innovators, startups that will come with brilliant ideas about what can be done with that data if it is made available. It's all about creating the environment, the ecosystem, to allow them to showcase those ideas and help them to meet the cities and explain them what I can do if you provide the data.
All right, so the time is running out, but in the end, you said that many people can benefit if they have brilliant ideas, and then there is this, there are these 100 million euros. But where do they get the information? So this is the place to announce the website where they get the information.
We, Juanjo and me, and Pieter joined the negotiation on Thursday and Friday. So really, the public announcement is not yet there. It's basically we are pre-announcing, but in the fall there will be a huge public announcement. You find, of course, information on FI-PPP websites, but this real open call information will be run by and organized by the Commission in a big event, basically.
Yes, and I have something to add to that. It's the fact that those, meaning the 100 million. What is, by the way, it's just money to facilitate the fact that the infrastructure deploys. Meaning, at some point of time, you have to help the people to start, but it's not the finality. And as Philipp did say it, 100 million sounds like a lot. If you have it in your pocket, it's a lot. But if you have it distributed over a whole Europe, it's not that much. So it's just something to trigger the existence. So to get back on that, actually, what was done is that the budget, the 100 million, is distributed among 16 incubators and local clusters. And so basically, I think that a lot of advertising on what's going on and how to get involved will also be done by those clusters.
Okay. So last statement.
Before we close, let me add to that. I mean, no one should wait for those calls, right? All of the data is available now, and you can get involved now to learn about the technology, maybe start playing around with it so that you are ready to make a proposal in the fall, right?
And if you what only is the website to go to now?
FIWARE.eu.org, FIPPP.eu. I mean, essentially any of the FIPPP websites will carry the announcement as soon as it gets FIPPP. You can register for an email announcement list, So I mean, it will be really hard to miss those announcements at the time.
All right.
But the really important point is actually starting now to get involved and not waiting for the fall.
Okay. So start now, everybody, and now this was our final panel discussion for this special conference of the Future Internet Public-Private Partnership. This is CeBIT 2014. This is the Future Talk. Thank you that you've been with us. Thank you for this day. And I'm looking forward to the announcements in the fall, and I'm looking forward to next year, because next year we will learn what really happened. And so this is that we will see great success. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
you
you,
that you've been with us.